The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. How are you? You're good? Yes, I'm also happy to see you today, and especially the smiles on your face. You people are looking good, eh? Yes. Please check your neighbor and then maybe say hi. Yes. And then to our viewers out there, thank you, and a very warm welcome to GBS Talking. This is whereby we talk actually to become kings and also keep the conversation going, especially our country and the current social vices that we are facing and how to mitigate them and how to live a successful and happy life. And today in studio we are joined by a lovely audience all the way from KTTC. Yes, KTTC, thank you very much. We also have a few representatives from KCA University, and this is a special day because today also we have a very special guest. And before I invite her on stage, okay, when you guys were young or when you guys were little, what did you inspire to be? Yes, a pilot. Yes. Pastors, eh? Wow, that changed. Doctors, eh? Anyway, life is sweet, okay? Irrespective that sometimes it doesn't turn out to be the way we've planned, but life is actually sweet. And actually it is something to always be happy about, especially when you have the right mindset and when you already see things in a different perspective, okay? Yes, that is why today I've invited a special guest all the way from KCA University to come and speak to us, okay? I know her. She has been in KCA for a very long time, and her main career or her main work is to mentor people, to do also guiding and counseling, and more than that, she's also a mom. And please, put your hands together as we welcome Belinda on stage to come and speak to us today. Yes. How are you? Karibu sana. Yes. How are you
Hello.
today? Yes, yes. Hello. Yes, karibu sana. These are a lovely audience that we have today. And I do know that you love the youth.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and especially talking to them. We have young gentlemen here, and we also have young ladies here. And today, I don't know, what is it that, for yourself, for them I've heard, they wish to be pilots, doctors, some pastors. I don't know, but maybe a brief one from you. How is life? And sometimes, you know, life doesn't turn out to be the way it was. Maybe for you, I don't know what you had planned to be in life and what you are currently doing right now.
Wow. Life is interesting, and it is worthy living the life that you choose to live. When I remember back growing up, you know, I had dreams. And as I grew up to young adulthood, these dreams, to some extent, were not matching what I was doing. And I remember when I was in high school, when every other girl wanted to be a nurse, that is one thing I never wanted to be. And I actually wanted to be an accountant because I have passion in maths. However, I was never actually chosen to take a course in any of the accounting areas. But I finally found myself in the education field. And so I did education. I started teaching. It was great interacting with young people at their teenage years. And of course, in search for livelihood, I ended up actually working as an administrator in a university.
Wow.
It was during this particular moment that I discovered what I wanted.
Okay, let's clap for her. She has mentioned 3 things, okay? A nurse. Anyone who wishes to become a nurse? And nurse cuts across the board. It doesn't mean you have to be female to be a nurse. Do you have gentlemen in the house who would love to be nurses? Okay, all heads down. I also had something to do with accountant. Yes? Okay, thank you, all the best. And then next, last but not least, teachers. Oh, wow, clap for them. Eh? Thank you so much. Eh? Anyway, Belinda is here to speak about one thing, and she'll actually tell us, she'll introduce herself to you, and more to that, I hope that we can have an interactive session. If you have any questions, and also our viewers out there, 21144 is our SMS line. You can also go to YouTube, GBS TV Kenya, and like and also subscribe for the purposes that we keep this conversation going even beyond the TV station, and also on online. We'll want to answer some of the questions that you may have. So this time around, I hand it over to Belinda. Thank you so much, and I hope that this audience can give you your time. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope we are going to have a moment where we are going to learn more about ourselves. Just a brief introduction. I'm Belinda Mumo. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I am a deputy to the Dean of Students at KCA University. I also do the counseling for students, and I like mentoring young people. Why I actually chose counseling was because at one point I realized I was doing so much of counseling outside, but I wasn't skilled. And that's why I went to look for the skills, and then I trained with USIU, and then I landed a job in counseling. And majorly, whether in the formal sector or outside, I meet any young person, I want to know about their lives, I want to know what they are planning, I want to know where they are ending to. And for that reason, this is a great opportunity that I'm meeting you. You are meeting the right person who is going to have a very short, brief session with you, but which I believe is going to really impact your lives for the better. And so, today I want us to talk about maximizing your youth years. Because the youth is one of the most potent stage of life. It is the life whereby you are so energetic, you have a lot of time to yourself, and you actually have so many dreams that you can run and work them out. It is also a time whereby, if not well managed, then it can cause a lot of pain, and a pain that may cost you the rest of your life. And so I want us to really talk about how then can I maximize my youthful years. Here we are talking about people around 18 through 30 years. Because that period of time, you can do a lot about your life. That is where actually you discover, who do I want to become? Who really am I? And so as we discover who we are in life, then we need to really do things in a way that we are not going to regret. We are not going to be frustrated with life. Because many times, as a youth, as a young person, there are so many dreams we have, and we want to live them today and now. You want to have money, you want to be influential, and you want to do it right now. However, if then I want to do things right now, I may not end up doing them in the proper way. I want to give an example of a farmer. If a farmer goes and plants, and the following day wakes up, checks the farm, and realizes nothing is shooting up, and tries to dig down to check how far the seed is, then that farmer is not going to have any harvest. If the same farmer, when the trees are planting, goes and starts plucking, he will not have an harvest. So the farmer to harvest may have to endure a lot of time in waiting, and also in weeding, in pruning, in actually waiting for the fruit to develop so that he can have an harvest that he has desired. And the same with our lives. We are growing. And as we grow, we need to wait and to hold some of the desires we have. Because youth, many times we describe it as time of fun. You know, it's carefree. You don't have responsibilities on yourself. Someone is providing for you. But again, on the same time, we want to live a life where we feel like we are grown-ups. It is the moment where you realize, now I'm an adult. I'm all grown. I can make my own decisions. And you need people to understand that. When you turn on the other hand, you realize, I am a student. I need fees. I can't afford it. I need someone to pay it. So there is a lot of independence and dependent conflict in the youth. Now, how then can I maximize my youth so that when I get the full independence of my life, I am capable of handling everything else? And so we look at then, how do I choose rightly? Because if you don't make the right choices at a young age, then you are going to regret, because we become products of whatever decision we make today. So if today I choose, I will want to study hard, I would want to devote myself to a particular project, then tomorrow I will reap from that. If then on the other end, I choose, I want to be free, I want to party, I've gone to campus and I've realized life is good here. There is a party every Thursday, every Friday, every Sunday. So by the time I come back, I've not even handled my studies. Then I realize later that I actually lost a lot in my lifetime. And the lot that I lost was the development for my future. So as a young person then, I need to learn something that I'm going to call prioritizing. What are my priorities now? What can wait for tomorrow? Because if I don't prioritize in my life, then I'm going to miss. If today you want to enjoy a lot of fun, and maybe, let's say, for example, you realize you're grown up, and so I want to have sex. But I am not ready for the responsibilities that come with it. So as I have my fun, I realize I'm here, either I become a father or I become a mother, and I'm not ready for that. That is the moment I realized I actually did not prioritize well. But if I prioritized, I would have told this desire to wait. Then when I am done, I'm stable enough, I can actually say now I'm ready for it. The same way, the way I want to live with friends, the way I want to do things, if I want to have maybe a well-furnished house, I am not going to use my parents' money to furnish the house to the standard I want. I need to put brakes into this desire and then choose, I will wait. What I can do is invest so much in actually building myself so that I can be ready for tomorrow and be able to actually earn that life that I desire to live today. So we need to prioritize and ask yourself, what is most important to me at this moment? What do I want to do immediately? What is actually valuable, which is going to give me more fruit tomorrow? So when I look at things like that, then I'm able to actually decide, this can wait, and this I can do now. Creating a balance in life. Because if I don't create the balance, then I'm not going to be successful in my life. If you ask any youth today, will tell you, I want a very successful life. If you ask them, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? They tell you, I want to be driving, I will be an MP, I will be a millionaire. These are the words they will tell you. But what will it take you to be that millionaire? And that is where we need to ask ourselves. What will it take me to be that leader? What is it that I need to do to be that successful person? And so we need then to plan our lives. And that is where I'm talking about prioritizing, because we need to know, what goal do I need to achieve in the next 1 year so that it prepares me for my 5 years goals. If my goal is to be successful, for example, if it's to be a millionaire, what am I going to do between now and the 5 years to get to the millionaire part of life? So what I'm doing now will determine where I will be tomorrow. So make the right decisions. Choose your company well, because the company we keep determines so much in the person we become. The friends you are keeping while actually at the university are going to determine the kind of a person you become. If you choose friends who are not seeing the same thing you are seeing, they don't have the same vision you are having, then they are going to mislead you, or you're going to find yourself in the wrong place where you never intended when you are beginning your journey. So choose people who are walking the same direction as you are walking. You can't go to a direction, opposite direction, and then expect to get to your destination very soon. So if I have to choose friends, I have to be very wise, because the character of my friends largely will influence my own character. So if you have 5 people surrounding you who are walking the path that you are walking, then you are sure you are going to get there safe. But if you surround yourself with people who are walking the opposite direction, every step they will be telling you, let's go back. The next step, let's go back. The next step, let's turn this way. And then you may not get to your destination. But people who are walking the same path with you, the same direction with you, they are going to pull you. You're going to pull together and find yourself there. For example, because you are students, young people, if people who you are together with, their desire is, let me finish my degree very fast, I get to employment, or I get to my business, and I do well. That person is going to be, most of the time, they are like, I want to go to the library. You also find, even if you wanted to go and chill somewhere, you choose, let me also go to the library. So you're going the same direction. So let's then choose very wisely. The other thing is, you need to have a vision. Where are you going? Because if you don't know where you're going, every place becomes your destination. If you get to a bus, but you don't know exactly where you're going, so you get to Naivasha and you want to alight, because you've seen other people alighting, because you don't know exactly where you're going. If you're walking to a particular direction, but you don't know where you're going, you find someone tells you, let's go this way. So you follow because you don't know where you're going. So what is it that you want to do with your life? It is during the youthful years where we get to have the vision and the dream of our lives. Where do I want to be? What do I want to become? Where do I want even to set up my life and build myself? So these are the times that we need to make that decision. What is my vision? Where am I headed to? And we realize then the same way this is the most important part of your life, it's also the same way it becomes the most destructive part of your life. How destructive? Because of the peer pressure. We want to belong. You find this group of people, they are doing this, and you feel like, I'm being left out. I'm the only one who is not in this. And so you want to try new things. Remember, at this age, we are trying to identify who we are. So I need to be like so-and-so. I see this one dressing this way, I also want to dress that way. I see this one living this way, I also want to live that way. I see this one dating this particular kind of person, I also want to date that particular kind of a person. So without knowing, you find yourself in the wrong places. And that is why we have many youths are the ones who fall prey for drugs. And what happens? Someone gets to drugs, and by using drugs, by getting addicted to drugs, their lives take a different turn. So the goals you had are not achieved. The vision you had is no longer anywhere near. The friends you had who were making sense to you are no longer with you. So you find yourself in a lonely place where no one respects you, no one actually regards you, and because of that, we get to a state of hopelessness. And it's when we get to this state of hopelessness why we are having many even suicides being committed, because I don't see why I need to live. I feel like I've lost it in life. And because I've lost it in life, I have nothing else to lose, even if I lose my life. But a youth can choose wisely, can make the right decisions, can keep the right company, can keep focus. To help you do this, then it's very important as a youth to actually identify a mentor who can walk with you, who can mentor you to be what you want to become. And the mentor has to be someone who is beyond your age. You can't say my mentor is my peer, because your peer sees exactly the same way you see things. So talk to somebody who is way beyond you, who has achieved beyond you, whose age is not your age, because they are able to see differently than how you are seeing. So then you need, as a youth, to identify a mentor, somebody who you can walk following them, and they can lead you to the right direction, which is very important. And as young people, let us then focus our energies to the right things, to doing the right things, to actually building ourselves. While still at school, you can actually decide, this is the moment in my life where I want to do something different. You could even be doing maybe, for example, a particular course, but there are other things that you can do along that are going actually to impact more on your life. So think of, what else can I do? I have a lot of time. Because again, another danger of youth life is idleness. When I have nothing to do, then there are so many other useless things that occupy my mind. And I want to do them. I feel like I have all the time, so why not try to do this? So if you don't occupy yourself with the right things, then other things will occupy your life, and you'll miss it out. So ask yourself, where else can I engage myself? How do I engage myself outside class? Because these are the things that are going to make us. Some may engage in sports. Others may engage in different clubs and projects in the community. Others engage in church projects. So engage yourself. Keep yourself busy. Because if you are idle, there's a lot of thinking that is going to happen in your mind, which may mislead you. So ask yourself, other than the school that I am in, other than attending classes, how else am I making my life useful? So find something you can identify with. Join a club you can identify with. Be busy with things that make sense, with things that are acceptable in the society. That way, your life is well taken care of. And you will realize later the things that you were able to do when you are youth. When you don't have that time, you don't have regrets. You've made useful time of your youth. It is also important to know this as young people, that if we learn to respect and obey our parents, yes, we are grown-ups, but they know more than we do. If we learn to listen to them, to obey, to also run to them when we are finding ourselves stuck, then they will give us the best wisdom. So learn to do that. Before I conclude, earn your respect as a youth. Earn your respect as a youth. Respect is earned. People treat you the way you show them to treat you. You don't tell people how to treat you by words of mouth. But people will know how far you allow them. If you become the person that if you are told, hello, can we go to this and this place, then you're available. Tomorrow, can we go to this and this? Yes, you're available. I tell you, they will not learn how to say no the day they will call again. Even if it's something you don't want to do, you'll not know how to stop. So if for sure it is something that you don't want, from the word go, learn to say no. Learn to put boundaries. Because the moment you allow a boundary to be broken, that boundary, restructuring it, takes a lot of energy. So keep the boundaries. Let people know. Sometimes at the beginning, you may feel like, I'm not pleasing my peers. I'm not pleasing my friends. But if it doesn't please you, don't just lie down and do it. Don't be there to be used for what you don't want. Don't go to companies that you don't want to be part of. So know how to really put your boundaries right and only allow that which you are comfortable with. If you start allowing things that you are not comfortable with, then people get used. And they actually make it their right that, oh, yesterday you said yes. Why are you saying no today? Yesterday you accompanied me. Why are you not willing to accompany me today? So from the word go, put the boundaries. Earn your respect. Talk to people the way you want them to talk back to you. Don't accept what is not acceptable to you. And live right. Thank you.
Okay, that's clap for her. Yes. Thank you very much. And especially this one thing of which I picked when she said, you know, engage yourself in so many things. Right now you're the youth, and one way to actually utilize your youth is be active in many things. How many things do you do in a day? A lot. No, my mentor told me like this: I can do 500 things at once. How? Doing 500 things at? A day. Yes, in a day. Okay? Keep engaging, doing so many things. And this time around we are saying positive. Okay? Because also you may be engaged, but also on the negative perspective. Okay? You know, it's like cycling. You know, when you keep cycling, you keep moving. What about when you stop? You stop, and then the likelihood of falling or you actually now lagging behind is very big. Yeah, so actually what I picked from Belinda was actually that. And also she talked about, you know, having a mentor. How many of you have mentors? Let's see, let's do a research here. Yes, many a times I ask people, who is your mentor? And then they tell me someone who is in the United States, somewhere like a celeb or something like this. But a mentor is one that can actually have a face-to-face conversation, okay? They know you, you know them. A person that you can call and they can answer your calls, Yeah, but let us not have this blanket kind of mentors whereby we say they are my mentors, but they are people that you cannot even reach out to, So today also we have a mentor who is in front of us, and we'll take a short break and then come back, and especially if you have any questions and any comments, and also we are going to now kind of conclude the topic for today, how to utilize our youth, okay? And especially in the country right now, youth, do you have hope? When you check on things, it seems as if there is no hope. Okay, clap for yourselves, at least these are different category of people. So we'll take a short break and then we'll come back, okay? Yes, so thank you very much. Let's clap as we take a short break and then we'll come back. Don't go too far away. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the show. Before we took the short break, we were actually talking about how we can maximize our youth. And one thing I know is that the youth love dancing. True or false? True, yeah? You know, this is the only generation whereby a person can have all the courageousness and all the boldness to tell their mom or their dad, I want to be a dancer. In our time, try to tell your mom or dad that you want to be a dancer, and okay? Yes. But anyway, we are so glad. Thank you so much that you had time to join us on GBS Talking, and also for our viewers out there, remember you can keep touch with us on our SMS line 21144 on YouTube and also GBS TV Kenya. And today we are privileged to have Belinda, who is actually a counselor and a mentor, to speak to us about how we can maximize our youth. So this time I would just love to give her maybe our 1 minute to actually say something before I get back to the audience for the purposes of any questions that you may have.
Okay, as young people, because of the energies we have, it's very good to think about where am I channeling my energy. Because where I channel my energy is where I'm going to get the youth from. As we've said earlier, that it's about making the right choices. It's very important that we make choices that are going to build us for tomorrow. When I was young, if I will just say something, I have always kept saying I never regret how I used my youth, because I was so engaged, I was so busy, but busy with the right things, that to date, I'm so grateful that I did them then. Today I realize I try to want to do the same things, but I don't get the time. So it's very important that those things that are important to you, that mean a lot to you, that are right, then you do them this particular time. So engage yourself. I would say engage as a youth, engage and engage and engage in the right things. Channel every energy in a positive way. Because one thing that I've come to realize with a young person is that they have a lot of energy. And where they channel their energy, I tell you, they do exploits, whether in the negative or the positive. So if actually you would channel your energies then to the positive, then you're going to do well to your life and to yourself and to the society as well. Because there is so much the youth can impact in the society. So if we have youth walking the right path, doing the right things, running their race in the right direction, then we are going to have a society that is focused and society that can be relied on.
Okay. Thank you very much. And especially when she's talking then, and especially in things to do with the society, okay? Not only in terms of, like in our institutions or our schools, but also back to the society, okay? We have a lot to do. And this now opens up the avenue whereby we have, if you have any question that you'd actually love Belinda to answer and also to handle, then this is the good opportunity that you have.
Okay.
Can you? Yes.
Festus, I have a question about mentor. What are the characters should the mentor have so that he or she can mentor you?
Okay. Well, Festus, you've asked a good question. A mentor, as I said, one should be way beyond you. So you don't say someone is a mentor when you are peers or when your levels are the same. So this person should be either having achievements beyond you, maybe more spiritual than you are, or maybe more educated than you are. Somebody who is not your age, for example, because they are able to see far beyond you. 2, it should be someone who you can respect, who you can listen to, and somebody who can actually have time for you, listen to you, and guide you appropriately. So as you choose, ask yourself, how can I reach the person? Because we don't have to have mentors who are not reachable. When it's mentoring, there needs to be at least a number of times we can meet face to face, talk, exchange, and somebody who can actually guide me through issues of life, such that I can actually go to this person when I have an issue, or when I need to be shown the way beyond where I'm standing. Somebody also who can challenge me, because you don't want to have a mentor who cannot challenge you. You need someone who can challenge you to become the best you can, to challenge you to go beyond your limits. Yes.
Yes, and maybe a tag on actually this is that most of the time mentors can also identify our strengths. This is a person who can be able to identify your strength and also your weaknesses, so at least you can be able to build on those aspects. But more to it, now that you've identified a mentor, also for you, now who is the mentee, then there's some characters that also you must portray, okay, for there to be a flow, because it's not only one way, okay, it's supposed to be both ways, eh? And especially there are people who come and then they ask, I want you to mentor me or something like this, but the minute you speak one sentence, then they already have kind of something to say to you, okay? So if you have this kind of character, then also the mentor will not be able to work with you, okay? By this, that's why Shade, it's a person that actually can listen to you, but more to it, you should also listen to the mentor, okay? So that when he says read 2 books, then you should read how many books? 2 books, and not say, I don't have time to read 2 books. You know, I'm just giving an example, okay? So that also now when, when he or she is actually giving this, then you're already in a point whereby you can be able to receive and move forward. Because who wants to mentor a person that you keep telling once, twice, thrice, 4, 5, 6, 7 times the same thing, and yet it's not working out, okay? So it's also that you who is also on the receiving end should be in a position whereby you can also listen and respond positively to whatever actually the mentor is saying, okay? Yes. Yes, another person, and we have numerous questions. There's one right behind.
Hello, the name is Martin. I would like to ask a question. Being a student, being a youth, how do we identify our mentors? You know, there are some who don't have mentors, but you really want to be on the right track, on the right direction. So having a mentor will take you in that direction. But now identifying that mentor, how do you do it? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. How you will identify a mentor. It can be a challenge, yes, for a young person, because maybe the person you want to mentor you may seem to be somebody who is not reachable at one point, or you don't know how to approach the person. So the number one will be actually approaching the person and saying, this is me, explaining yourself, these are my interests, and I would want you to be my mentor. Two, you can have someone introduce you to a mentor. You can actually talk to somebody who you think you are able to reach, who can reach that mentor you want. Because there must be something then you are desiring in a mentor as well for you to choose and identify that mentor. You don't choose a mentor, somebody who you cannot identify with, somebody who you feel their walk is not like where you would want to walk. So you can actually also approach someone else to do it on your behalf.
You already have two mentors in front of you, okay? So this is something of which maybe many of the youths actually, because they truly want to have a mentor, but how even to identify is also a big problem, okay? But I have seen people within the society whereby even mentors have been able to identify those that they want to mentor, okay? Sometimes as a teacher or as a person who actually is doing this guiding and counseling, when a person comes to you, you're able to identify, this person has a certain potential, okay? So also the mentor at some times, okay, can be able to identify the people that they really want to mentor, okay? So it cuts, that's why it cuts both ways, okay? You can identify one and approach. Sometimes they will approach you, okay? And kind of now start giving you, when you see a person giving you kind of positive comments and always kind of encouraging you, then you should now take the conversation further, okay? You're the one now to, for them, because they've already triggered the process. Now it's for you to pick it up and run with it, okay? Maybe within you, now that you're students, are there teachers that sometimes actually approach you and tell you, maybe this time around you should have done this better, or this way, this thing you should have done it maybe in such and such a way, okay? So these are the kind of people now that you are able to identify with. But one more powerful thing is that if you are able to identify people who know about, you know, like something we call mind education or the world of the heart, okay? People who have, and she said this, people who have been, you know, gone before you and they have some positive aspects within the society that you can be able to pick out from. People who have a strong mindset and a strong heart, okay? This is even more powerful to you now, okay? So that they can be able now to guide you through life in such kind of stages, okay? But a mentor, I would love to tell you, pick from your day-to-day life. In your day-to-day life, when you check very clearly, there are people who are surrounding you, and easily you can pick from them, okay? It's just a matter of identifying, this person can actually help me in this one aspect. And then you can have different mentors in different categories, okay? For example, if I'm within the media, then I can be able to identify with one person who can help me within the media. When I get back to the society and doing a certain few aspects of things, then also I can be able to identify with one person who is strong on that area, and then also they can mentor me within that profession or within that environment, okay? Yes. Yes, we have another question right here in front.
My name is Dorothy, and Madam Belinda has talked about priorities. In terms of choosing priorities, us as youth, it becomes a challenge. So I was asking, like, do I need, or is there a criteria should I use in terms of choosing my priorities?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Specific criteria may not be there for you to choose. But again, it's about looking at the rewards to whatever you want to do, the long term and the short term. rewards. Because something may have very immediate reward, and you may want to do that because it gives you the immediate reward. However, it may be an hindrance to what should give you a long-term reward. So when choosing priorities, then we need to ask ourselves, can I actually delay satisfaction of this one thing so that I can satisfy what is most important at this moment? Then the one I delayed can come later. So if it's priority, I just want to use just a simple example. Assuming you have an exam coming and your friend has something like a party, let's say, actually a birthday party for your friend. You see this, the birthday party, they've made it and it's happening tonight, but tomorrow, 8 o'clock, you have actually an exam. So there is the issue between, do I actually attend my friend's party, or do I actually study and prepare myself enough for the morning exam? So in that case, then we need to ask and look at what is most important for me now. What can wait? What can be explained later, you know? So I may choose, then my priority here, I would put my exams first, because the effect will be more higher if I actually don't prepare for my exam, as opposed to missing my friend's party, which we can always have other places where we can come together again. Maybe the next birthday party I can attend. I can actually tell my friend, you know, I had an exam and it's very important for me to actually pass this exam, so I may not be able to attend your birthday party. So it's more of what reward do I want to delay? Because you want to be in good terms with your friend, yes, but your exams make more of your life. They are going to build how faster you're going to finish your degree, build your career, than how many friends you made during the party. So ask yourself, what can be delayed? Which has lesser effect if delayed? Which has more effect if delayed? So when we look at things that way, then we can see we can pause one to give way for the other that is important, and the other one can come later in life.
Sure, and maybe one with a pen and a notebook somewhere. Anyone with pen and paper? Quickly, I want to show you something just of which also I learned from a mentor, okay? Very quickly, yeah? Very quickly, just where you're seated. Write for me the 5 most important things, starting with the most important one. The 5 most important things in your life. And begin with number 1. This number 1 is the most important thing in my life. And also for you who are seated right here, also our viewers who are out there, you can check. You can just number, okay? Just number them if you don't have a place to write. Number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this, number 4 is this, number 5 is this. The most important according to number 1. Now giving priority to number 1, that this is the most important, like this. I can see he's in number 4. Yeah. I know this is an exercise that maybe most of you have never undertaken, but in such instances, it's very good, okay, to pick up and also write them down, okay? Something very important comes out when you do this kind of listing. You can list up to number 10, no problem, but for me, it's up to number 5, okay? I'll not ask what is number 1, okay? But I want to ask you, between number 1 and number 5, which one do you find yourself giving more time? Number 5. You see? Even me when I was told to do this for the first time, actually ended up. Number 5, I give it more time. Yet at the back of my mind, number 1 is most important. But in reality, I give number 5 more time. You understand, eh? So it's very important for you to consider. Like she was saying, where you invest more of your time, then the results will actually be based upon whatever you've invested in, okay? So if it is, for me, I wrote my parents, number 1, and then the one who was guiding us actually asked me, how many times do you call your parents in a day? In a week? In a month? Okay? And then how many times do you visit them in a year? December. In a year, December, if things go wrong, then I don't have to go, okay? Then is my parents number one in terms of my priorities? No. At the back of my mind, yes. But in reality, what I do and my day-to-day activities does not reflect that, okay? That is why it's also most important that each and every other time, you should have kind of a priority list, okay? Once in a while, and then check which one do I invest more time, okay? Yes, because if I want to become a dancer, then I expect that I'll give more time in terms of practicing and listening to music or something like this. But if I truly want to become like a pilot, then I cannot give dancing and practicing on songs as my priority number one, okay? Yes.
Yeah, and maybe just to add on, we have something we call misplaced priorities. It's easy to find that, yes, you have priorities, but you misplaced them. And that's why it's very important to even talk to somebody about your priorities. Like, these are my priorities. This is what I'm thinking of doing now instead of this. Then you can be guided along whether is it, you know, when you are talking to somebody, you get to hear yourself. When you talk, you hear yourself. It's like even writing. When you write, then you read, it comes to you like somebody is telling you. The same, when you are talking to somebody, you're able to hear yourself. And so maybe some leading cues from the person may make you rethink again, am I doing it right? Because you can find somebody who is wanting to be, what do you want to become? You are doing engineering, right? So you find that he's doing engineering, he wants to become one of, which engineering are you doing? Automotive engineering. So he wants to be the best known, you know, automotive engineering. However, he spends time creating, what do you call when you're creating music? Music writing. So if he's actually spending most of his time in music writing, and then he wants to be an engineer, are we going to have an engineer? At the end of the day, we are not going to have an engineer. He may actually drop out of school along the way because he's invested in more time in what was not his priority. So it's very good to really ask yourself, what is most important in my life? Even when you have your priorities, keep, as he said, keep looking back. What is most important? If you are saying your studies are most important, it's a priority. You know, there are things that are good to us, but not important at a particular time. For example, if you are studying and along your studies, of course, you've met a beautiful young girl who you want to marry in the next, how many years?
Pass.
So he wants to marry this girl in the next 10 years, okay? Right now in school. But he spends and misses classes spending time with this girl. He actually uses money. Today is which day? So he uses school fees to go and take out the girl. He's landed to a dinner in an expensive place. Are his priorities right? Because this girl is being invested for in the next 10 years to come, you know? So the energies he's putting there doesn't match the importance and the time limits that he's having.
Okay. Thank you very much. You can have one question from this side before we end it up. Yes.
Hello.
Hello too.
My name is Austin. I have a question. I can imagine for a month, I want to do something. But when setting target goals, at the end of the month, I find myself have done nothing. Also, I have a question, I think, out of the topic. The issue of this Al-Shabaab. Somebody, when want to kill some people, he or she swallows in a bomb. I hear to some people saying, when someone swallows a bomb, has been given some money. So what is the use of money when you swallow a bomb? You die. Where does the money get to?
Okay.
Thank you.
We have two questions.
I will handle the first one.
You'll handle the first one. Okay.
Then you can handle the second one.
Yes.
So the first one, he asked about setting goals. After the time, you realize you've not achieved anything. And this is what I would want to say. you know, in setting goals is a process. You set a goal. The goal needs to have time limit. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be very specific. So if your goal is in a month's time, for example, then what determines you getting to that goal is how you're going to break your goal to a shorter term goal. Like, let's say a goal of, what would you want to do, for example, in a month?
I don't wish to save money for my school. I only pay my own school fees, so I have to save money for my school fees.
Okay, you want to save money for school fees. And assuming that you want to save this money maybe on a daily or weekly basis, depending on how your money comes, if you wait until the end of the month, then you not save money. You need to ask yourself, in a day, how much can I save? So instead of saying I would have saved 5,000 at the end of the month, then that is your bigger goal. Break it, break the goal to smaller, the short term and the medium, being your long-term goal being 5,000 in the end of the month. So what is in a day, how much can I save? You say I will be able to save maybe, let's say 500. So in a week, how much do I save? So at the end of the day, I'll be able to check, have I achieved my short-term goal? Because when the goal is, the time limit is so long, I may feel like I have time, you know, I'll do this tomorrow. I'll still do it. And then we keep postponing what we want to do, postponing a deal. The day is here and we are not able to do anything. So learn how to break your goals to short term, then medium, and then now the long term will be achieved at the end of the day. You can't say, I will pass the exams. My goal is to pass the exams. But you're not studying after class. You're not doing anything until the exam time. The timetable is out, and that is when you are running with a whole semester's work to the library. You open it, and then you get depressed. You feel like this is too much. You get so stressed, I can't finish this. So what do you resort to? Carry an assistant to the exam room. Because you set a goal to pass your exams, but you never actually looked at how do I achieve my goal. And how I achieve is breaking that goal to small and shorter limit goals. That way you're going to be able to find out that, or at the end of the day, I've managed my long-term goal.
Okay, I happened to visit one company that is actually listed among the top in the country. And one of their rules is that there's no company that was built and became successful by having a 1-hour lunch break from Monday to Friday. That was their rule. There's no company that is successful that has a 1 lunch hour break from Monday to Friday. This is talking about what she's talking about, time. Okay, time. What you should have done tomorrow, do it today. You understand, eh? What you have to have done, what you ought to do tomorrow, do it today. Because I found myself, this is an email, I'll do tomorrow. It's just an SMS. I'll SMS within the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then you meet yourself, you're not actually meeting your goals and your objectives, okay? The second question was people who actually, the suicide bombers, like they are given a lot of money, and then what is this money actually used for? I would love to say this, and this you can take to the bank, okay? The society right now is building its hope and success based on material things, based on how much cash you have. And that is why if you want to have a business that will actually prosper, start, I don't want to say maybe a gambling business, and you'll see it will, okay? Because most people are just like money, okay? Big car, big house, all these kind of things. But the truth be told, success does not mean happiness, okay? Material, having all this kind of money and something like this does not actually mean that this is happiness, okay? And that is why there's something, in this world we came naked, and naked we shall return, okay? So even what you have right now is something to be thankful. Just having clothes to wear, having something to eat, you know, just affording a smile on your face, that is enough to be content about, okay? But right now, the society is built upon, I don't know, I don't know whether I would be correct if I call it greed or so much kind of, you know, we want to amass so much to ourselves. And by the way, how many pairs of shoes can you wear? One. But you want to have 50. But in fact, I have a research that I'm doing, a person who had almost 2,000 pairs of shoes. 2,000 pairs of shoes. It became a museum at the end of the day. Okay? So there's this so much desire in terms of so many things that we want to accumulate and only keep to ourselves, but this does not actually end up in terms of happiness. Okay? But in fact, the more you have, the more likely you'll not find happiness. So I'm not killing your dreams and goals in terms of becoming rich and having much, but the more you do something like this, because you tend to cut off yourself with the society. I mean, nimefika, I am at the top. Ndio kusema. When you have these kind of perspectives, then you lose the aspect of even having a relationship with others. Okay? But as I said, how to actually overcome this kind of thing is just be content with actually what you have. Okay? Yes, it is enough. Having something to wear, having something to eat, and having a roof under your head, it is enough. But ikikam, ikuje tu. Sawa, kakikam, sasa. Okay, yes. So anybody with a last question that they really feel that they want it answered? Yes, we have one here. Yes, let's give him priority.
Hey, I'm Nathan Wanyuiki.
Okay.
So my question is about being reluctant after achieving your goals. You become reluctant. So how do we cope up with such situations?
Okay.
You know, somebody said, the enemy of success is your last success. The moment you achieve something and you feel, yes, I've done it, I've arrived, this is, you know, I'm at the top, then you relax, like you don't give more efforts. And it's because we tend to want to compare around, and as long as we feel we are at the top, we don't feel like we want to do anything more. However, the true success is actually keep like challenging your life. Challenge yourself with new challenges. If you get to this point, set another challenge ahead of you. So that life of endless challenges is where we can now say you are truly successful. But if you just do one thing and feel like around me I'm the village champion, so no one else competes with me, and that's why it's very important to stop actually comparing ourselves with everybody else, but being ourselves, becoming the you. When you are true to yourself, then you can live a life of success and challenging yourself every now and then.
Okay. Do we invite her once more? Sure. Are you willing to invite her once more? Yes. Then let's clap for her as we end up the stage. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, yes. So we wind the show here. Do the 21144 is the SMS line. Please don't forget also to subscribe on GBS TV Kenya on YouTube, and we'll keep the conversation going. Today we've talked about how to maximize our youth, and upon this we've discussed so much, and thank you so much, Belinda, for making time. I hope that next time that we also invite you, we shall have an opportunity to come to be together with us. So thank you very much. Let's clap for her. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, asanteni sana. Naweza jipigia makofi hata nyinyi. Yes. Thank you very much. Sasa.